and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Chestroll To Feet. It's usually one of the first rolls to feet that people learn, and it starts like a chest roll and ends standing on the line, so no surprises here. There are always some people for who a trick comes naturally, and if you're one of them for the Chestroll To Feet, this video is probably not for you. But as you're watching this video, I'm guessing that it maybe doesn't come as naturally to you, and there are a lot of tiny and big things that I learned over time, and some of them are hopefully also helpful to you. So keep watching. The prerequisites in this case are quite obvious. You should be able to do a chest roll, a chest bounce, and to check if you can be fast enough, you should be able to do a double chest roll and then go back to feet in the next bounce. The trick is also probably going to be a bit easier if chongo mount is your preferred style of mount, but this is just an information, not a call to action. To do a chest roll to feet, you start like for a normal chest roll with the back foot already on the line ready to stand up. You start pressing yourself up during the roll, and then you put the foot at the end of the roll. There are two details that might help. The first one is that during normal chest rolls, I have the hands like this, so the fingers face me. But for the chest rolls to feet, it was helpful to already put them like this, so the fingers face away from me, because that way I can already press up during the roll without having to turn my hands. So that's one more thing that's already ready to go. And then the second one is to think weight back during the roll, to put your weight over your back foot to have the room to stand up. And that might be a helpful thought. Just try it out. Then let's have a look at the leash. I think a lot of people don't really care where they have the leash for the Chestroll To Feet, but it took me quite a while to find a place where it was not constantly bothering me because it was on the way and I was not putting my foot because the leash was there and so on. So the position for the leash that I settled on was to have the leash ring in between my feet and the leash on the left side. And I'm regular, so that's probably the opposite when you're goofy. Timing wise, if you want to do it really clean, it's more or less like a normal roll. But with the Chestroll To Feet, if you want to just land it, it can help to go quite early. In case you're scared of putting your foot, it helped me to alternate Chestroll To Feet tries with something similar, but something I was comfortable to put my foot. So for me, that was double chest rolls and then standing up in the next bounce. So I would do one try Chestroll To Feet and then one try double chest roll and then standing up in the next bounce. And I would do that over and over again until I was putting my foot for the Chestroll To Feet. And I think it really helped me because I wasn't getting stuck with this, I'm not putting my foot, and I was getting regular input in how it feels to put the foot and that it's not something to be scared of. And that helped me to overcome my hesitation to put my foot and in the end also land the Chestroll To Feet. So if you struggle with something similar, that might be something to try as well. One last thing to play around with is where you put your foot in comparison to your hands. I initially learned Chestroll To Feet with the front foot in front of both of my hands. I think that was a little bit easier for me at first because it requires a little bit less coordination. You can just put the foot where nothing else is, so in front of both hands. The disadvantage of that option is that you land in a bit wider stance, which first of all looks a bit uncleaner, but second of all is also a bit harder to hold the next bounce then. But for me it was still easier to go for that option first. If you then want to land in a more narrow stance, try to put the front hand at the height of your shoulder and your back hand a little bit back, because that way you will actually have the space to put your foot in between your hands at the end of the roll, and then you land with the legs closer together, which is ultimately easier to hold. And that was everything I learned about the Chestroll To Feet so far. I hope some of the insights are also helpful to you, and see you in the next video.